welcome to this video on how to lead effectively in spite of anxiety. My name is Ilse Passet. I'm a business coach and mindset expert, and I help growing businesses solve their people problems, align their teams, and protect their culture. Today, I want to talk about the things that you can do and my secrets for dealing with anxiety. The reason I'm also talking about this topic is because whenever I talk to either clients or prospects, this is a trend that inevitably comes up in the conversation. We all have, at some point of our lives, dealt with anxiety, and sometimes that can get in the way of being an effective leader and growing your business. Now, let's talk a little bit about anxiety. What's anxiety? Anxiety is basically a worry about the future. So you will notice that whenever you feel anxious, it's because you're thinking about something that could potentially happen in the future, but not something necessarily that has happened yet. Now, I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can effectively deal with anxiety. And the first one is my secret sauce, my number one way that I have seen that works really well for myself and for my clients when they're dealing with periods of anxiety. Now, if anxiety is caused by a worry about the future, then the best thing that we can do is to come back into the present moment. Dr. Joe Dispenza, one of the people that I follow and admire, says that anxiety does not exist in the present moment. That is something very, very powerful and true because anxiety is caused by worry of the future, so it does not exist in the present moment. So if you practice and are able to bring yourself back into the present moment whenever you're feeling anxious, that anxiety will naturally start dissipating and you will start being able to do things that you can do in that moment. So that's tip number one, is to come back into the present moment. You can do that through meditation. You can do that through just an intention of closing your eyes and saying, I am here right now, not in the future. I am here in this present moment. And you will see how things start to change inside. My tip number 2 for dealing with anxiety is to really look at the things that you can and cannot control. This is such a very powerful thing that you can do. And I did this exercise just yesterday because I was worried about something specific within my business. And I had this sort of worry that had been going around my head for days and days on end without resolution. And I was talking to a client, funnily enough, about this during one of our sessions about the circle of control, like really what the zone of control that you actually have. And there's a few models that talk about this, but it's basically about the things that you can control and the things that you cannot control. And one of the things that I did, and it was very, very useful, is that I basically just sat down with a piece of paper and I wrote, I'm worried about this. I need to get to this. These are the things I can control in one column, and these are the things I cannot control on the other column. And I was surprised once I started writing things down, the amount of things that were within my control compared to the things that were not within my control. And sometimes, things outside of our control might be other people. It might be circumstances, it might be the economy and all of those different things. I talk about this in other videos as well, about sort of like the mindset around things that are going around in the world. But doing that exercise of what you can control and you cannot control. So far, 2 things. One of them is come back into the present moment. And the second one is make a list of things that you can and cannot control. And then the third one, which is a little bit more philosophical, it comes from the Stoics and from Marcus Aurelius and his book on meditations, where he said, I didn't deal with my anxiety. I just got rid of it because my anxiety was inside of me. And I really love this because an anxiety is something that is not necessarily being caused by the outside circumstances. It's really being caused by the perception that we have about outside circumstances. So if we're able to acknowledge that is something that's going on outside, but it's being generated inside, it's a lot easier to just let it go. And then I'm going to give you a bonus tip on this one that works really well, and it's not engaging with the thoughts of anxiety. Because what our brain does is that whenever you go down a path of one negative thought, it starts connecting a series of negative thoughts and it becomes a downward spiral of negative thoughts. So if you're able to catch that anxiety in the first few minutes and you have a lot of self-awareness, which is something that coaching helps a lot about, um, you're able to catch that in the first few minutes and you do not engage, you will be more likely to be able to cut that at the root, stay present, and get on with your day. Because what anxiety does is it stops us from doing what we need to do in the present moment to be able to achieve the things in the future. I hope you found this video useful. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe to my channel where I will give you more tips and tricks on how to grow your business, protect your growth, align your team, and build and maintain a great culture within your business. See you on the next video.